Hello, oxygen breathers. Welcome to the Herbs for the Apocalypse hotline, where we answer apocalyptic inquiries of the botanical persuasion. Today, a question from the interwebs. What are some herbs to restabilize or ground after a traumatic event? This is a great question. I pondered it. I also consulted some friends. Each person is going to experience trauma differently and have their own unique path. So these herbs that I talk about have been helpful for me, but each person is different, so you can use them as a guide for your own healing journey. After a traumatic event, it's really important to feel safe, so whatever you need to do to put yourself in a safe place, definitely do that. Oftentimes, to move trauma out of the body, we need to move the body. So some people do that by shaking, dancing, singing can help move energy from the body. Also, getting body work done, a massage or Reiki, dancing, yoga, that can all help to ground you and help you feel embodied again. And these practices can be done with or without herbs. So as far as herbs go, I would recommend adaptogenic herbs after a traumatic event, and adaptogens helped us adapt, so they build our body's resistance to stressors of all kinds. So some of them include tulsi, ashwagandha, and rhodiola. Tulsi is a personal favorite of mine. I find it incredibly helpful for everything, basically, and relieving stress. So it has a deep capacity for healing ancestral trauma as well. So you can drink tulsi throughout the day. It's not a stimulating nor sedating herb. Definitely after a traumatic event, it might be good to avoid caffeine because your nervous system is in overdrive. You definitely don't want to push it more into overdrive. So if you need a little energy, I would definitely say use adaptogenic herbs such as maca or rhodiola that are more stimulating, and avoid caffeine if possible. One of the crucial components after a traumatic event is to make sure your sleep is in order. It's usually one of the first things affected, and it's also one of the most important pieces for healing in general, to have regenerative sleep. So here is a little recipe to help aid in sleep and rest. It includes hops, chamomile, skullcap, lemon balm, and passion flower. And some of these herbs, like skullcap and passion flower, are nervines, so they help to soothe the nervous system. So you could put those in equal parts in a tea. However, the hops is quite bitter, so I would maybe use that in a little less quantity than the rest. You can take that about an hour before bed or anytime you want a deep relaxation. Another good herb for healing trauma is calendula, which I happen to have in my hair. So, my friend Cedar, who is a clinical Western herbalist, recommended calendula for transferring grief. And some years ago, when a friend died, he handed me a single calendula flower, which I held in my hand. And calendula is known for bringing on eternal sunshine. So this plant opens towards the sun and follows its path across the sky. So you can use this herb, putting it in your hair, having it around you in a vase at your home. You can drink it as tea, put it in your bath. You could throw that in the tea blend I mentioned. So that would be a good one to use. And another really great herb for trauma is cannabis. It's a very complex plant, and people have different relationship with this plant. But I found it to be incredibly helpful, as well as another friend of mine who uses high THC cannabis in order to process trauma. So she uses it to be present and feel in her body and to really come into that space of healing in a deep, profound way. Sometimes that involves actually sitting with the trauma and discomfort. So that might not be great for you if you just had a traumatic event or you're not ready for that, and respect that, and that's totally fine. In that case, you could consider using a CBD dominant preparation of cannabis to just basically help you get through the day. You know, we want to live our lives and move on to a certain extent while also acknowledging and processing trauma. But sometimes you just want to get through the day, de-stress, and take life head on. So the CBD dominant preparations can help with that. Another plant that might be helpful for trauma is yarrow. So, especially as a flower essence, which is flower essences are taking the energetic properties of a plant and taking very small doses, almost homeopathic doses of plants. So, yarrow flower essences can be especially helpful for processing trauma. So, yarrow is a great herb. It's historically been used for warriors. So you can harness that inner warrior and help develop some energetic boundaries because sometimes after trauma, it's really hard to have energetic boundaries. And for people like myself who are highly sensitive, also hard to have energetic boundaries, but it can help strengthen the spirit and bring you deeper into your healing journey. So, definitely take care of yourself. Be super good to yourself. Eat good food. Drink water. Lots of tea. And friends and talking is also really great. So, I hope this information has been helpful. If you have a question for the hotline, feel free to give me a call. Actually, you should probably just write me. Live in the digital age. Thanks for watching, and feel free to scope the website. There's a lot more information about herbs there, and also check out the comic, which is in full swing. Ink will spill soon. Stay tuned. Over and out.